welcome to another edition of Lab Rats. My name is Andy Walker.
I'm Sean Carruthers.
And today on the show, we got melons.
I was going to say, that's a nice melon you got there, Andy Walker.
Good like it, huh?
Yeah, so I'm worried. Why do we have melons on the show?
Because today, we're going to show you how Trojan horses work using food, using melons.
Sounds like a food demo.
It's a food demo. It's a food demo of the best kind. So put on your goggles.
Oh, jeez.
Because we're going to do... There we go. Today, Trojan horses with melons. And actually, it's a top secret ingredient, too. I'll talk about it later on Lab Rats. But first, a message from our sponsor. We'll be back in a sec. Yep, it works.
This is Biff and Boo. They are Andy's cats. This is Andy's pillow. It is freshly laundered. This is Camtasia Studio 4. It's the best screencasting software ever. Now answer our trivia question. What screencasting software does not smell like cat pee or hide when it's bad? I'll be back at the end of the show with the answer.
All right. Well, before we get into the nitty-gritty of this, you're frightened, aren't you?
I am frightened.
In the setup of this show, I gotta say, Sean was being like my mom, right? Because there's a lot of food in the area, and this is kind of his living room here in Vancouver.
And I know what he's capable of.
There's a surprise ingredient today.
Ooh, it's hot in here. These things are steaming up.
Yeah, you are. Exactly. It's because you're frightened of
I'm steamed already.
You're frightened of the food.
I am.
All right, let's get into it. So Trojan horses. Do you know what a Trojan horse is exactly?
I do know what a Trojan horse is.
So tell me what a Trojan horse is.
Well, a Trojan horse is named after the old fable, or maybe not a fable.
It's like a myth, I guess.
A myth or maybe historical fact. I don't know. But anyways, so a gift was given, to the Trojans. Mm-hmm. And
to the Greeks.
To the Greeks.
From the Trojans.
Yeah, from the Trojans.
Yep.
So it was given, it was rolled in a gigantic horse. Yeah. It was like, oh, it's a fantastic gift. This is awesome. And, in the middle of the night, it opens up, and a bunch of soldiers come out and
kill everybody.
Yeah, not much fun.
Rape and pillaging, that sort of thing.
Right. And in the world of technology, a Trojan horse is roughly similar.
Roughly similar, right. So today we're going to show you how it works using melons. Mm-hmm. So you go to the store, right? You buy a melon. You expect a melon. Nice melon, right?
That looks like a melon.
You bring it home. You open it up. And what's inside?
Well, we'll cut it open and we'll see. It is, in fact, a melon.
A melon. Oh my God, really? It's disgusting.
It is a bit disgusting.
Melon guts.
But it's kind of melony.
Right. Tasty. Right. So no surprises there, right? Looks like a melon. Is a melon. Mm-hmm. And it's the same with a file. When you download a file from the internet, you're expecting to get a file onto your computer. Double click on the file to either run it or use it in some manner. And what you're hoping for is, something fabulous, right? Mm-hmm. Now, a Trojan horse is a kind of malware or malicious software that looks like a file, but kind of isn't a file. It's a deceptive way of getting
It may be a different
stuff.
kind of file.
Well, so here's let me show you. So we talk about melons, right? So you bring the melon home from the store, right? And when you open it up...
Oh, it's already kind of indicating that this is not a melon.
So when you open it up, instead of getting melony inside, you get beets.
That looks like
Which
beets.
is, I can't stand beets.
I love beets, but I got to say, Andy, these beets are not particularly
These are disgusting
happy.
beets. Anyway, so that's the idea, right? Is you get your file, you open up the file, and what's inside? Don't eat them. And also, I'm going to barf.
Actually, no, they do taste. They taste a little bit like beets. They don't smell so good.
What comes out of the melon?
This is the durian fruit of beets.
It's just awful. It's like anyway, so what's inside the melon?
You're the one that picked beets for this demo.
I know and the reason I did pick beets is because I hate beets. I so hate beets. It's like, I'll tell you why. Because when I was a kid, my dad used to pickle beets and he used to shove these jars of pickled beets in the back of the cupboard in the kitchen. And one year, there's this subtle bang. And all of a sudden, this big pink foam started pouring out of the cupboard. because they had fermented or they over fermented or whatever and exploded the thing. So I had this beast make me feel
just
pukey.
a bad reaction. I'm the same way with bologna. I can't eat bologna because I ate bologna and it made me sick once. But you know what? Yeah.
And until you get it, right? So the thing is, you're expecting a melon, and you're getting
beets.
Right? You're getting something ugly inside. You're getting what's called a payload. Now, what exactly? So inside of a Trojan horse, there are different types of payloads. I mean, beets is just an example of something disgusting. But let's be more practical, shall we?
Okay, so we're seeing in our email a list for fantastic pics of Anna Kournikova, which was a big one a while back, or something new that's a fantastic game or whatever, and you're opening it up and it's saying hacking in the background.
Right.
And you're opening it up and saying, "Where's my pictures of Anna Kournikova? Oh, I guess this didn't work."
Right. Right. Exactly. And in fact, so one of the things that the bad guys are doing to putting inside Trojans these days is, let's open the hatch here. Oops, it's upside down. Let's do it this way. Is spam, right?
Spam, spam,
spam, spam, spam.
Yes, you knew that was coming.
And spam. So of course, it's not that they're putting spam inside. They're putting a spam engine surreptitiously on your system, so that your system starts to send spam. So they'll actually put a tool inside that will install a spam distribution mechanism or whatever. And in the end, now the irony is that they do a really good job. You don't necessarily know that you've been infected. The Trojans are so subtle that you may actually still think you have a melon. You may not know that you have spam inside until something nasty starts happening on your system. Maybe it's slowing down or...
One example of this is a game. When you have this fun game that gets distributed from person to person, and it could actually be a game.
Literal, yeah. Exactly.
So, I mean, these people that are able to program the games are able to program the bad stuff behind the scenes. So you're playing this little game, you're doing this ping pong thing, or you're shooting penguins out of a cannon or something like that, and it seems fun. But in the background, the entire time this is going on, something is being installed in the background.
Right. And one of the other things that they might install is what they call a back door, and basically what it is. In fact, we kind of simulate this as a remote control here, right? So inside is actually remote control, and what that does is it installs a piece of software on your system so that somebody out there on the internet can actually access your computer and control it in some manner.
Yeah, so when you log your system on and go on the internet, it sends a little beacon that says, "Hi, I'm here, and this is where I'm at."
Right, and waiting for orders. It'll sit there and wait for an order. So as a bad guy sitting at Bad Guy Central says...
They actually have a headquarters for all these people?
Yes. Downtown Warsaw. Bad Guy Central, except it says it in Polish, so you'd never know.
Is the building made out of black stone?
Yes, black opal. It's like, Dr. Evil's lair, except it looks like a potato factory. But anyway, now once your system is infected with something like this, especially in the case of a remote control situation, it becomes what's called a zombie, because of course it can be remote controlled from afar. And lots of zombies all connected together, like tens of thousands of them, your computer, your grandma's computer, my computer, Sean's computer, we're all infected. That becomes what's called a botnet, B-O-T-N-E-T. And a botnet is basically a vast tool for these guys to either attack another computer, and basically say, if you don't pay us $10,000, we're going to get our botnet to attack your system and fire random pieces of data at it. It could be distributing spam. It could be doing identity theft. A whole bunch of different things like that.
Spam is a huge one these days, and that's how come it looks like this spam is coming from all sorts of different machines and all sorts of different identities, is because it is, essentially. You're getting those ones that Ignatius Q. Filibuster has sent you this email about Viagra.
That's right. Exactly. No, it's true. So the idea, though, is that a Trojan is basically a very, very handy way of getting stuff on your system. Now, once a Trojan is on your system, it has a command and control device inside that can download more new stuff. It doesn't actually necessarily come just with a remote control or the spam built in. It can actually make a request out to the internet and say, give me something new. So, for example, you could get rid of the source. It could have a virus in it that deploys, and you could kill the virus, but if the Trojan's still there, it could go and fetch new spyware or other mechanisms to maintain. So unless you actually get the Trojan specifically itself. Now, it's very easy to defend against Trojans. You simply need a really powerful and effective antivirus product of some sort, or and spyware will catch some Trojans as well. So if you have a copy of AVG from Grisoft or Norton, I don't like it, or McAfee's product, don't really like them either, but one of these sort of brand named
You're wearing their sweatshirt.
Well, I'll tell you a story about this in a minute. After the final break, I'll tell you why I'm wearing the property of the McAfee. sweatshirt in a minute. But ultimately, a good antivirus product will defend you against most Trojans and stop them in their tracks.
What might be even more useful, though, is not clicking on those things in the first place.
Right.
And I always tell my mom this, and she's always getting these things from her friends, just funny jokes. Click on this, see it. Right now, it's 1 million laughs. And I said, Mom, just don't click on those things. You know, because if you're getting something free out of nowhere from your friends and they're spreading it like this, there's a good chance that there's something wrong with this file.
Exactly. There you go. All right, you have other fruit there. Why?
Oh, I just figured we had some melons, make a fruit salad, or just, you know.
Make it pretty.
We went grocery
Make it
shopping,
pretty.
so we have some more, so.
Very good. All right. All right, well, that's it for our latest food demo. That's Trojan horses with melons. Are you enjoying that?
This is actually pretty tasty. Those beets, not so much.
No, it's disgusting. All right, well, let's take a look at a message from our sponsor, and then we'll be right back with final words.
Earlier in the show, we asked you what screencasting software does not smell like cat pee or hide when it's bad. Is it A, Biff and Boo, B, Andy's Pillow, or C, Camtasia Studio 4? The answer is Camtasia Studio 4. Learn more at labrats.techsmith.com.
Well, we just realized that we have no viewer photos this time around because Sean was, I don't know, snoozing. Actually, he was setting up all the gear, and I was sitting on my butt.
Yeah, we were too busy shopping for this as well, so we didn't set it up. But, you know, we've got some in the queue, and we're going to get to yours. So if you haven't seen yours yet and you're wondering, well, I fit mine in, well, it's coming. It's coming. Don't worry about it.
Right, absolutely.
But if you want to send yours in, definitely do so at feedback@labrats.tv.
Very good, very good. Now, I do want to tell you a little bit of story about this sweatshirt.
Yes,
so I went to a press conference in Toronto, right, with McAfee, and the chief security officer from McAfee is there, and they're giving these out to all the press, you know, property of McAfee. The irony is I was probably the baddest behaved journalist in the room, and I was
I can't believe that.
kind of heckling him. I don't know what I said to him though. I thought it was a legitimate question. I said to him, "How come McAfee virus scan sucks so much?" Right? You know, it's. I mean, no. And
Did you use those words?
I think it might have been nicer, but really.
You know, probably a good idea at a press conference.
But here's the thing: and then this is one of my biggest beefs with both Symantec and their Norton product and McAfee Virus Scan and the Virus Suite, is that it tends to bog down systems, right? That's why we tend not to recommend those products here on Lab Rats and in our careers in general, because they tend to be, they use a lot of resources, a lot of hard drive space and that sort of thing.
Maybe not necessarily a bad choice for a mom or a grandma or whatever that just needs their system protected, but yeah, anyone that needs performance, just forget it.
Right, exactly. I mean, I always say, and I should prefer the McAfee products over the Symantec products because I think that they're slightly easier to use and they tend to be slightly less system intensive as far as resources goes, but I always give those guys a hard time. So the chief security officer was not very happy with me, I'm sure, and the PR person said, controversial questions there, Andy. And I got the sweatshirt anyway, so anyway.
You got the sweatshirt anyways.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, there you go. That's my little McAfee story. That's it for us this week, I guess. Anything else to add?
I've got a monkey.
Oh, you got a monkey?
It's a screaming monkey slingshot.
Well, how does it work?
Well, this is a cubicle toy we got from thinkgeek.com. So you hook the monkey on. Easy.
Back
and you shoot them at beats and they'll be vanquished. So that's it for Lab Rats this week.
I'm Andy Walker.
I'm Sean Carruthers.
We'll see you next time.
Are you ready?
You want a beat?
You eat it. I'll pay you $1 if you eat that beat. It's good. I don't have $1 anyways.
Ugh.